Good evening, folks. How's it going? Tonight, I'm going to play through Donkey Kong Country, and I've done a Donkey Kong Country stream before, but I think I got through it a little slow, and I've been playing it again recently and wanted to see if maybe I could do a little bit better this time. It's been, I don't know, maybe a year or two since I did that. I honestly don't remember the last time I played this. I know I did some Donkey Kong Country 2 with Austin not too long ago, maybe 6 months ago or so. I forget, time gets away from me. But I really felt like working through this again tonight. I did a couple playthroughs earlier in the week, and I thought about just doing it on my own again, and then I thought, I'll broadcast, see if anybody happens to be around. I'm going to do minimal commentary and Q&A this evening as I really focus on just getting through this as fast as humanly possible, but feel free to say hello, and if I don't interact a lot with the chat, please don't begrudge that too much. I honestly thought about doing this without any commentary whatsoever, but I thought it wouldn't be fair to not say hi to folks that happen to pop in. And hopefully I'm not having that problem I did the other day with a stream where I'm getting comments but I'm not seeing them. If you're watching right now, please leave a comment and say hello so I can tell if I can actually see my comments. Because I may have to take a break here in a second and look at the video page to see comments. The Captain Logan show didn't have that problem, but it was an issue with another stream the other day. I forget which one now. I think it might have been the Strange New Worlds, how we felt about? Or how I felt about? Because I was all by myself. I really want to get a lot better at Donkey Kong Country 2. And I should be practicing that more. But I still have not mastered this to the degree that I'd like to. I will sometimes get stuck at that first snow level, where I just won't quite get to the shortcut, and lose a few lives there and mess up my time. About 3 years ago, I was working real hard on trying to get to where I could speedrun this game. And I got faster and faster at it and was doing pretty well, and then ended up kind of moving on and doing something else. Okay, I am seeing comments, so that's awesome. And I kind of got the anchoring to do that again. Now, I'm weird because I play with Donkey Kong a lot, and I know that I would play a great deal faster if I was mostly Diddy, but the problem is, growing up, I, for whatever reason, was always playing as Donkey Kong, except for when I would get hit and have to be Diddy, even though Diddy is faster. I think probably mostly because of the enemies that you can jump on as Donkey Kong and not have to hit them twice, and just, I have a rhythm with him that I've not developed with Diddy. And when I was working on my speedrun, I was working with what was comfortable, so I guess now I'm saying that I'm, like, trying to pseudo-speedrun, where, like, people have different, and I mean, I'm somewhat casual about it, like, I just want to, you know, get a good time for me, I guess. I'm not super crazy serious where I'm trying to break any world records or anything, but, and I'm not big into speedrunning communities and stuff. I haven't watched a lot of them. I don't know a lot about it. But just the idea of, you know, playing through a game as fast as possible is kind of fun and appealing to me. I like doing time trials with Sonic and stuff like that. I've done some of that with Sonic Mania. But what I was going to say is people will have kind of different criteria with speedruns. So, you know, be like overall speedrun, you know, like fastest time getting there however, humanly possible, or like fastest without any kind of cheats or shortcuts, or fastest with a particular character. And so I feel like it's valid to say like Donkey Kong speedrun as opposed to a Diddy Kong one. But yeah, I see Blue Jew in the comments. Welcome. Looking forward to Night Quest. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm not sure when we'll get to that finally. But I don't want to wait too long on it. I have another thing I've got to review with Kareem soon that we were supposed to do yesterday, and he got busy and wasn't able to. We're going to do, I guess I'll just tell you, we're going to do some Green Arrow, Green Lantern, or is it Green Lantern, Green Arrow, to celebrate the life of Neil Adams, because he passed away recently, and we wanted to do a tribute stream for him. It was weird. I guess I didn't jump straight up. I was like, why am I not in that barrel? And then sometime after that, we'll try to finally get to Night's End. So, might be a month or two. Not in a giant hurry, but I don't want to take, 3 years in between or anything. Always a lot of iron in the fire here on Geekvolution. Quick plug for tomorrow night, if all goes according to plan. That was weird. I'm going to be doing a superhero rewind on the second and last Adam West animated 60s Batman movie, which is Batman vs. Two-Face, which I just watched again today in preparation. I'm a little ahead of my homework, so thought I'd play video games tonight. But I've got a lot of comics I need to read, too. I'm going to be doing possibly 2 Comic Vault streams next week, but I don't want to reveal what they are yet in case something falls through. John Ty, good to see you, too. John Ty, I'm not going to do a lot of Q&A tonight, so I don't want to talk too much about Strange New Worlds Episode 3, but I will just say I did enjoy it a lot, and I think it's up to quality with the first 2 episodes. It might be my favorite so far, at least in certain ways. I thought it was quite good. And I'm willing to say at this point that I think it is in the same league as the Orville so far, quality-wise. Certainly hasn't reached the heights of that show yet, because it's only been 3 episodes, but at least the place where Orville was by 3 episodes in, we're there, or maybe even a little bit better with this show, which is wild. I also really just like the look of that show. Having a lot of fun watching that. Hello, Miguel. Good to see you. Thank you guys for jumping in and just saying hello. I said a minute ago I was just gonna kind of work on my playthroughs for this on my own, and then I thought, I have no reason not to broadcast. Off to a good start. Haven't died yet. Sometimes minecart can be a little bit of the moment of truth. If I've really got my rhythm going, my groove on, I'll do this with 1 or 2 lives at max, and that usually bodes well for a good playthrough. I've always said I could take a whole game of minecart, and one of the things I really love about Donkey Kong Country Returns is just the sheer number of these, and how challenging they are, and how much diversity there is. Didn't get my bananas. See if we can get a balloon here. Yeah! Been been on a big Sonic kick lately, and for whatever reason, that got me feeling like playing this. So a lot in common, I think, at least in the way I play both of those titles. Off to a good start. Miguel, I am just playing this on an emulator so that there's not any lag between the Switch and the stream. I've had that problem some with my capture card. Jason and I did some Mario 64 gameplay that wasn't the best because of that. Oh, man. And that's my first death. I said, I don't know what it is with me, but I'm never as good with Diddy Kong. Even though I know I could speedrun the game a great deal faster if I mainly used him. I'm just the fakest gamer, even for retro stuff. You know, I think of myself as mostly a retro gamer. Well, I don't just think of myself. I'm definitely mostly a retro gamer. I don't keep up with hardly anything, you know, AAA mainstream at this point. Even the newer things that I go to tend to be really old franchises or throwback things, or I just really like this era. And I've been into arcades a lot more in the last couple of years since I got on the 1-Up bandwagon. My home arcade has 10 arcade 1-Up machines now, including 2 of their pinball machines. And then I have a tabletop emulator machine with some 30 or 60,000 ROMs in it that fills in a lot of gaps. And then I have I've mentioned this before, of course, but I have a Virtua Fighter original arcade machine. It's the only full-size arcade that I have that we've converted with the same kind of system and the same Raspberry Pi that my tabletop has. So 12 altogether. That machine's not actually down here in the bunker because we couldn't fit it down the staircase. So it lives in my game room upstairs, which is funny because we actually play video games a lot more in the bunker now than in our designated video game room. So that's become almost more of like a museum for consoles and stuff. And it's kind of a second living room. The kids use it to watch TV and play with toys and stuff. Miguel, the AAA well feels pretty dry recently. I've been replaying Mario Galaxy now that I'm on break. I love Galaxy. Galaxy 2, I think, is my favorite 3D Mario game. And you can make a case that Odyssey is objectively better, but subjectively, that's my favorite. I've always loved Stop and Go Station. I just like the rhythm of it when you know it's coming. I guess that's what I mean when I say that I play it kind of like Sonic. There's a rhythm to it. Tried to get that O, didn't manage it. I'm going for speed, so I'm skipping it. And the hope when you go for speed is that you can get away with skipping some of the extra lives that you could have gotten otherwise. I always jump up and hit that a couple times, just in case. Oh, no. That looks rookie-ish. There we go. Hello, Thomas Slow. Yeah, surprise stream. I wasn't planning on doing anything tonight, but I felt like playing video games. and I've been working a little bit on my quick playthroughs on Donkey Kong Country recently. I hesitate to use the word speed run, but my speed runs. And like I told everybody earlier, I thought, why not share with anybody who happens to be looking for something fun to watch and maybe have a little bit of interaction. You guys feel free, of course, to talk amongst yourselves if you'd like about whatever you want to. Don't mind me. Not a big deal if you guys end up chatting about things that I'm not involved in while I'm concentrating on this. Like I said, kind of minimal commentary. I guess I've been talking a lot, but minimal in the sense that, I don't know, I was talking about rhythm earlier. I kind of have that with live streaming too. I'm just used to doing a lot of talking. 13 years of making just videos in general on YouTube, but several years now of doing a lot of live streaming, and a few months now of mostly live streaming. And I don't like... I'm like... what am I trying to say? I don't like dead air. I really don't know how to jump on that vulture without getting hit by his nuts. That didn't sound like I meant it to sound. But yeah, I guess what I meant to say is dead air is like my kryptonite. I can't have it. Hello, Super Billy. Jealous of the fact that you're having fun playing the game, whereas my only exposure to Donkey Kong Country was the animated series with the disappearing posteriors. Hilarious. Well, there's lots and lots and lots of different ways to play this game. I mean, I'm playing on an emulator right now, so you can play this totally for free. Man, I cannot believe I died on the giant vulture. That does not bode as well as the way we got through Minecart. Boy, that's embarrassing. In my defense, I was trying to read a comment. See, that's why I said minimal interaction this evening. If you came in late, I really thought about not even turning on the microphone tonight and just playing the game, but I thought that might be a bridge too far for folks that would come in and be like, well, I'd like to say hi to Cat, but I don't even know if he's paying attention to me. But I probably wouldn't have been. Miguel, no way Odyssey is better. The volume of pointless and unfun moons makes it worse for sure. You know, that's fair. That's fair. But it is cool the sheer number of them you can get. But I also appreciate the criticism that might be busy work. And I only played through it the once. It's been a few years. That might tell you something, though. I haven't felt the need to really go back to it, even though I didn't get everything. I adored it while I was playing it. But when I reviewed it, I remember having a hard time using the word masterpiece, and that was a word that felt fine in my mouth when I reviewed Odyssey 2 when it first came out. So, you know, it's funny, I've done a fair amount of video game content on the channel, even though we're not really a gaming channel, and I don't think of myself as a game reviewer. But I guess if you're critical and you have opinions, you can review anything, even if you're not an expert. And I've never felt comfortable calling myself that with really anything. The last year or so, I found myself listening to the scores of the Donkey Kong Country games, the OSTs, a lot. Really soothing and relaxing music. I found it's some of the best music you can play for babies. The day the twins were born, I started playing a stream of Donkey Kong Country music that I found on YouTube. There's a couple of these that people have set with rain that's in the background. So really well produced, and like I said, just super relaxing. It's kind of nice to go to sleep by, which I've done a little bit. But also seems to really, oh man, really relax the kids. Stone Gaspin, did you ever beat the original Donkey Kong? Do you mean, did I ever beat this game, or the arcade game Donkey Kong? I've certainly never beaten Donkey Kong. I'm terrible at that. I'm going to concentrate on what I'm doing a little bit more now, folks. This is another level that sometimes I get through very quickly, and sometimes I'll, for whatever reason, lose 4 or 6 guys before I pass, and it's irritating. I just have this dream of getting so good at this game that I never lose a life. And again, if you're wondering why I'm passing some things up, like the O there, I certainly... Like, I jumped up for a second. I certainly know that I can't get that just by jumping. But I'm hedging my bets that I can live without that extra life as I'm working for speed. But I'm also trying not to take unnecessary risks. So in some places I'm taking my time because I know I'm not quite good enough to just barrel through, no pun intended. So I by no means expected this to be like my brilliant stream where I didn't lose any lives and blew everybody's minds about how great I was at this. I'm just practicing. But yeah, see, I was able to get there faster that time, so I went ahead and did it. And also I just lost a life, so I thought I could probably... I'm glad I did that. Hi, Stone Gasman. Stone Gasman. Lots of great requests from Mr. Gasman. Oh my god. We are wasting time. And lives. Look at that. Yep, this is going to be one of those playthroughs for this level. Alright, time to hunker down a little bit. One of the reasons I've always found this game so much fun is the barrels. And there's not as much of that in Returns and Tropical Freeze, which I kind of miss, but only thinking about it later. Like, I was watching a video about that the other day where a guy was saying it's not something I noticed on first playthrough. And I had that too. I didn't think about it until he said it. And then I was like, yeah, you know, there's not as much of that. Barrel stuff is relentless in 2. A lot more of the barrels that go all the way around. And that infamous B level with some of the best music in video game history and some of the most frustrating but brilliant level design. We get through this one, and then at the map I'll see what folks are saying in the comments there. Said a little less interaction tonight than I normally do. Be aggressive. Oh, God. Okay, I'll go ahead and look. Miguel, I totally forgot about that game. Was wondering what you meant by classics. I'm not sure what we're talking about. Oh, maybe he was talking to somebody else. Pardon me. Arcade version of Donkey Kong. Yeah, I'm terrible at that. Love to see you relaxing and having fun here with a colorful game. Thanks, Stone Gasman. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, tonight we're just chillin', as the kids say. I never did finish the Tropical Freeze playthrough that I did years ago when that game came out. I think I played through maybe half of it. I'd like to finally finish that at some point. At least that game, if not the actual playthrough on the channel. I feel like if I was a ghost, I would have a hard time crossing over because I have so much unfinished business. Hope my sound balance is okay tonight, folks. Let me know if you're having trouble hearing me over the music. Levels look good on my sliders over there. Jason had a dance recital today that apparently went really well. I had to stay back and take care of the girls, so I didn't get to see it, unfortunately, but my mom and Sarah's dad came out for it and came over to the house, and we had a fun time afterward. My mom lost track of time and played my pinball machines in the arcade down here for like an hour and a half straight. I was like, Mom, you know, it's like 9:15, right? She was like, wow, I just got really sucked in. So she had a lot of fun. And my wife has been making me this delicious barbecue chicken that she shreds like pulled pork for pulled pork sandwiches, which used to be my favorite barbecue thing, but I haven't been able to have it because I've cut out all meat in my diet except for fowl, chicken and turkey, and, you know, I'll eat duck if it's available. And now I can have something similar again, and oh my god, what was that? And it doesn't feel like I'm settling because it's absolutely delicious. And she made it again tonight with French fries, and it was just wonderful. This is maybe not interesting to anybody, but, you know, I do find that I sometimes play video games a little bit better if I have something else on my mind that I'm kind of chatting about. You know, like if I have somebody sitting right next to me talking to me, which, with like a natural conversation as opposed to, you know, like, we've done these streams where Austin will play moderator, and super nice of him, but he'll read me a lot of questions and I'll have to get in kind of Captain Logan show mode, and that can be really distracting, just going from like topic to topic like that and constantly switching gears. But more of like a natural kind of flow of conversation while I'm doing this. Sometimes I'll play a little bit better. Oh my god! I don't know how I went off kilter like that. That was weird. I've never done that. I actually went to the left instead of dropping straight down. I didn't even really need to go in there. I was just worried that I was going a little bit too slow for the giant barrel, so I took the risk, and it did not pay off. I did not get the reward. I'll just move on this time, I think. There we go. I've been wanting to do a stream, and I thought about doing this tonight, but I was just really in the mood to work on my speed skills for this. But I've been wanting to do a stream, I always forget that moves, for Sonic CD, which is a game I want to get better at. That is my wife's favorite Sonic game, and I always get stuck at Metal Sonic in that. Let's see what folks are saying here. Miguel says, sounds perfect at the moment. Thomas Lowe, what's a dance recital? Just a performance for families and anybody in the public that comes to see the dance routines. Jason is a competitive dancer at the studio that he goes to, and they also have the performances outside of that. He's really hip deep and competitive this year. It feels like I spend a lot of my time driving him around to rehearsals and things, and I have to take him to not one but two trips this year. We're going to Branson at the beginning of next month, and then I have to fly him to Florida. Well, not fly him myself. I don't have a pilot's license, but I have to fly with him to Florida for another competition, and he's going to take next year off and try some different things. He's been so focused on dance for so long, he's a little bit worried as he's getting into his teenage years that he won't be well-rounded enough and won't have tried enough different things. And that's not his mom and I pressuring him to do something different, because we're tired of paying for dance, which is not cheap, and for driving him around everywhere, which takes up a lot of our time. It's not that at all. I mean, I do lament that a little bit, just because it can be inconvenient, but he's all the better for it, and so much more confident, I think, than he would be otherwise, and he's really good at it, and so I'm certainly glad that he's done it for as long as he has, but I think he's making the right move. We of course left that decision totally in his hands, and he's hoping to maybe play a season of basketball, and also to try out drama. He's going to try out for plays. I probably should have just gone to the exit, since I'm playing for speed. Some of these, it's just a force of habit. I'm so used to going into them. Thomas Lowe, nobody requested you do Galaga before Cap. I mean, I don't really get a lot of video game requests outside of superhero stuff, but I have done a couple of videos on Galaga. The first time I played Galaga on video, it wasn't a stream, I played it on the Wii, because I had the NES port there, and I played it with a Wii remote, because it was really the only way I could play it, and I really hated not having a machine or a good way to play with an arcade stick, because it's really the only way to play Galaga, in my humble opinion. I don't like to do it with a controller. These days I have the arcade 1-up machine, which is the main way I play Galaga, and I don't have a great way to record that, but I did do a video on that when I got that machine at DJ's place a couple of years ago. His brother sold me that, and that's what got me into the arcade 1-up thing. So yeah, you can find a couple of videos on the channel of me playing Galaga. I'm a little better at that than I was back then. I think I've kind of hit a plateau with it. I tend to cap out about 200,000. I think my top score is like 275, 280. I don't think I've ever broken 300. But these days I do tend to beat my dad, who used to be kind of a Galaga, Grand Master Championship player. And he's a little rusty. I can beat him now. That's exciting for me. I'm only getting the animal icons in case I screw up later and really need the lives. Although, one thing I could do is just use Funky and go back to one of the earlier levels that gives you a lot of lives. If I end up in dire straits after the ice levels, or during the ice levels, which we're about to hit here, and this could be the place where it gets embarrassing, guys. I had a really good playthrough last week where I didn't stream it or anything, but just playing by myself, where I got through that first level without losing a life and found the shortcut real quick. Sometimes just in the moment I can't quite remember where exactly that is, what angle I need to be at. And I wish I was good enough to pull off not needing it, but I usually am not. And then I had one the other day where I just kept botching that, and I lost like 10 lives on it, and it took forever. And then sometimes even if I do really well there, that next level, that really pretty one in the cavern with the ice, I'll botch that up. Thomas Lowe, seriously, your dad is a champion? That's cool. Yeah, I mean, decades ago now, of course. Miguel, not an old classic, but a non-superhero video game recommendation is The Beginner's Guide. Seriously amazing and pretty cheap. Don't have to play it live or anything. Just think it's a great story. I've never heard of that. Thanks, Miguel. Well, we're about halfway there already. And how long have I been broadcasting? 35 minutes. Pretty good time for me so far. And you have to shave a couple minutes off of that because of places where I've kind of stopped at the menu and talked to you guys for a little bit, or the map, I should say. I'm playing pretty deliberately, because I don't want to, have a really embarrassing place where I'm just trying to blow through so fast that I die constantly. So, there are some areas where I could be rolling a little quicker and do more, kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better way to put it, like, kind of jump combinations or roll combinations or whatever. But I'm also a little rusty from where I was a couple years ago. Not playing quite as well as I did back then, because for about a month I played every day. I think I might have already missed the shortcut, or maybe it's right here. I always forget. Yeah, I already passed it. So like I said, bear with me, folks, because this could be the place where we're stuck for a while. And then, of course, I have a tough time with that, with a couple places in that last map. Let me go back, because I think it's here. Is it right here? If it is, it's not letting me do it. I had this problem the other day, too. Anybody that knows better than me, let me know if I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Because it won't let me out of that barrel. Okay, I'll just go forward and see. I don't know. If I can do it legit, I'll feel real proud of myself, but I usually can't. I usually need that shortcut. This is just an unbelievably difficult level for where you are in the game. Yeah. Only got one Kong here. Oh, I'm freaking out. I always second guess that shortcut. Now I can't remember exactly where it is. I should have looked that up before I started. There it is. It's a little earlier. Thank God. Okay, well, we didn't lose too much time over that. Where are we at? 39? Yeah, it took, what, about 4 minutes? John, just watching this stresses me out. Yeah. Good to see you, man. Thanks for popping in. Whew, okay. I don't want to say we're home free, because there's some other places where I can get stuck. And again, this level, it happens some. It's always funny at the beginning of this when I'm trying to get up here. Right? I feel like I have to, like, act like the bad guys. Again, I'm just doing this out of force of habit. I guess I really shouldn't. Going for speed. I've been playing this game for some 25 years, and it's just... You get so used to doing the things a certain way. And also, despite the sheer number of times I've played through this, I tend to flash back, like, my memories go back to the earliest days I played it. And I have that with Sonic 1, particularly, as well. I don't have memories of a specific time period so much with Sonic 2. I don't know why that is, but, like, I go back to, like, 10 years old when I play Sonic 1. And I remember a specific apartment that my dad lived in. Just a sense memory that I have. And I know that's not unique with video games, of course, but it's interesting the ones I have that with and the ones that I don't as much. I don't know why I grabbed this barrel. I already have both of my Kongs. Well, besides that last level, this has been a really relaxing evening so far. I'm just glad we're past it. That's very exciting. And I'm not going to promise this will be the last time I stream this because, like I said, I'm back to working on it. And if I ever get a lot better at it and can get to where I can beat it in, you know, less than an hour or something, it would be pretty cool to stream that. But, you know, I don't mean to play the same, like, 4 games all the time. I keep having this with Sonic where, like, I've already streamed all the Sonic games that I most like to play. But I guess there's no crime against doing it again. Might be fewer people who care, but that's alright. Some of this is a little tougher than it looks if you're not, if you've not played this before, because you see you can't just climb up this because it's icy, and some of them force you down and some of them force you up, and so you have to know which ones do which. But I got through that a lot faster than I usually do, so that was wonderful as well. Yeah, John, I have had a good Saturday. Like I said, had some family over earlier, and that was a lot of fun. Put out a post yesterday asking for Star Trek tattoo ideas, and if anybody has anything brilliant that comes to mind, I would sure love to hear it. Guess we'll get some extra men here, some extra lives. Again, this kind of wastes some time, but whatever. I want to do something kind of simple for Star Trek, but I feel kind of weird having, you know, Batman and Tick now represented and not Star Trek. I've even got Powerpuff Girls. But the big kicker is Star Trek is so popular that everybody and his dog has a lot of the, you know, really obvious ones, and even a lot of stuff that's maybe more off the beaten path. I'm trying to come up with something that nobody else or very few other people have, but that's not so obscure you wouldn't know it was Star Trek. And that might just not be possible. So, you know, people keep suggesting the obvious stuff, like the Klingon symbol. I'm not a big enough Klingon guy to do that. You know, the Idic, you know, the Vulcan symbol. Everybody's got that. Like a standard, you know, Star Trek communicator badge. Everybody's got that. Rank pips is not something anybody has suggested, but a thing I thought of, and, like, yeah, lots of people have that too. I thought about maybe the, like, for anybody that knows Star Trek, the, like, Future Imperfect, like, fake future badge that has, and there's a few other episodes that use it too, that have the like 4 lines behind the star. That's one that I haven't seen, but I can't get super excited about it. I don't know. I've thought about, like, the Borg symbol, you know, the red hand, but, like, I've seen some tattoos with that. That's cool enough, I would consider it, but I don't want to overthink it, but, like, I don't know. What does it mean to have a Borg symbol on yourself? I mean, I guess just that you're a Star Trek guy. As opposed to you want to be part of a collective consciousness, or, you know, you think that philosophy is a good thing? Not in a giant hurry to do that or anything, but I kind of want to figure out what I would get when I eventually do that. I almost didn't throw my Kong barrel there, and that would have been a travesty. I don't want to get cocky, but this is going really well so far. But yeah, there's one that Jason has been begging me to get forever. So the next time I do get a tattoo, it will probably be that one. Because the last, like, 3 times I've gone, and I've come back, he's like, really? You still haven't done that? He wants me to get, I might have mentioned this somewhere, the logo from Sonic and Knuckles. Which is one that other folks have, but one I would make an exception for because Jason wants me to get it so much. I thought about getting it at Jason's birthday, but I thought, I shouldn't have done that. Ooh, I got over it. Wow, I didn't know if you could do that. I thought those croctopuses took up more space than that. Seems so weird, I just feel better with Donkey Kong. I'm so set in my ways with that, too. I don't know if it'll ever change. But yeah, I don't know how weird it would be to give yourself a tattoo for your kid's birthday. So I didn't do it. I've had people tell me, like, no, that's cool, you should have done that. But I don't know. I don't know about it. And yeah, I'm crazy. I have a lot of them now, and I just started last year. First tattoo at 37 years old, I've already got 6. But I love them. And I have no feeling of regret or remorse about it whatsoever. It's not for everybody, but I've really taken to it. Thanks for watching. If you're just tuning in, I'm just relaxing tonight, playing some Donkey Kong Country, trying to go through the game as fast as humanly possible. I've been streaming so far for about 47 minutes, and I am more than halfway through. This is looking like probably a solid 2-hour playthrough unless I just really screw up someplace. Or it could be shorter if I get really lucky and blow through some levels that I usually die a bit on, particularly in that last map. But we'll see what happens. I'll take a look at the chat when I finish this level. There is a juxtaposition sometimes. I'm not having it right now, of course, because I know this level pretty well, and I'm not having, knock on wood, any trouble with it. But there's a juxtaposition with this game with aquatic ambiance and some of the really difficult, crazy stuff that you can deal with in water levels. Some of the most stressful levels have the most relaxing music. Okay, what are folks saying? Hello, everybody. I hate in spring. I'm a massive Star Wars guy, but it feels like there's a big enough barrier of entry to Trek to not be able to get into it. Yeah, a lot of people have that fear, and I've done a lot of content about where to jump into Trek if you've never watched before. I might revisit that at some point and do another, you know, kind of updated video on that. It's a question that comes up a lot, but I would say just real quick that the most accessible Star Trek show continues to be TNG, Star Trek The Next Generation, in Season 3 in particular, and it's also important to keep in mind that when TNG was in its heyday in 3 and especially into 4, it became, I guess it took till 4, it became the most popular show on television. Most people found it very accessible, and non-Star Trek people were watching that show and were compelled by those characters and really got into it. So don't be too concerned with the sheer amount of continuity and characters and settings and stuff with Star Trek. Jump into 1 and see if you can latch on to characters and ideas and stuff, and if you enjoy that, maybe then branch out a little bit. But you know, if you want like good serialized Star Trek, then start DS9 at the beginning of 2. Don't watch 1 at the start, I would say. But if you want Star Trek in more of its purest form, start with TNG. Lost Archives, you're pretty decently far into the game. Yeah, let me start jumping back into this. Jared, I'm not even sure I've completed any Nintendo game because I was never a Nintendo guy. I always think of myself as more of a Sega person. Okay, so let's see if this is the one that blinds you. Yes, it does. So I apologize for anyone prone to seizures or anything. So this is a ROM based on the original game, and not any of the updates that have fixed that. If you play this on, because I played this game in a bazillion different sources, but if you play this on Switch right now, on the online streaming service, it's like, it seems to be the only thing they've changed. They fixed it so that when you do this, it doesn't blind you. Oh, great. I lost my Donkey Kong just to show you that. And I lost a life just to show you that. Anyway, this is why I was thinking about doing this without commentary. But anyway, it also does that, and it's really nice that they fixed that, because that always drove me crazy when I was a kid. Not that I was prone to seizures, but just like, oh, God, quit blinding me. But they also fixed it on the Super Nintendo Classic, the Super Nintendo Mini. And I'm sure there's other releases as well, but I could have grabbed that in, but I don't remember if I got the other two, so I didn't want to risk it. Where was the K? Hayden, my girlfriend, is a big Sonic fan, and I'm more of a Mario guy. Opposites attract, man. But I was just going to say... Oh, I didn't mean to go here. Oops. I was going to say a minute ago, I always think of myself as more of a Sonic guy, but we had Nintendo and Sega consoles growing up. Yeah, I didn't actually mean to get in the airplane. For anyone that's wondering why I wasted time doing that. Again, when we get to the end here, trying to decide how long it took me to play through this, we can probably subtract a good 5 or 10 minutes of talking in between. But I didn't want to completely ignore you guys. I haven't actually done a lot of gaming in this gaming chair, and it's very comfortable. When I see other gameplay of this game, a lot of people do more rolling than I do. And again, the rhythm I got into with this, I guess that's the word of the evening, I got really used to doing a lot more jumping off of stuff than rolling into things. And I do a bit of both, and I would be faster if I got that down more than I have it. But again, it's a lot of why I play as Donkey Kong as much as I do. It's actually hard to avoid that, even if you don't want to get it. Hi, Tank. How you doing, man? Thomas Lowe says, waste time evolution. Well, I mean, it's yours to waste, man. I mean, you don't have to watch me play Donkey Kong. But maybe he's just talking about the time I've wasted while trying to do a speed run, not actually a speed run, but playing as fast as I can through this game, and then talking to you guys. But you guys are nice enough to jump in and chat with me, so again, I don't want to ignore anybody. Oh, I'm looking at comments and losing my Kongs. I'm losing my mind, is what I'm losing. Okay, well, we didn't lose any lives, so that's good. I don't think we did. Thank God I never played this. I had some games on N64. Well, you gotta. It's one of my favorite things. This game has, I don't want to say a bad rap or anything, but it's not as beloved these days as I remember it growing up, where it was considered, like a top 5, top 10 Super Nintendo game, because a lot of people, in revisiting it, have realized, oh, I thought I killed him already, have realized that this game is not as good as Donkey Kong Country 2, and that is true. Like, objectively, that is a better game, I think. But, it was super innovative, and it kind of like Sonic 2, the same relationship I have with Sonic 1 and 2. Sonic 2 is the better game, but sometimes I can't help but kind of prefer to go back and play Sonic 1. Some of it is a nostalgia thing, certainly. Like, I recognize that it's inferior and that this is inferior, but it's... Some of it also ends up just being, like, the one that you're better at. Like, I can beat Sonic 1. I've still never fully beaten Sonic 2. I cannot get past that final boss. I can get to it. I actually did that last week, but I didn't stream it. I'm not sure I would have gotten that far if I had been streaming. And I have done a playthrough of that game on camera, but didn't get as far as I did by myself. Oh, boy. Okay, that was hardly worth it for some bananas. Sometimes you just gotta move like they do. And Donkey Kong Country 2, I didn't play much as a kid. I didn't own it. We rented it a couple times, and I always thought it was the character that you had to rescue and wasn't actually in it. And oh man, and like I said, I preferred playing as Donkey Kong than Diddy, and I loved playing as Dixie Kong. But I don't know, there's just something about that game where I couldn't get into it as well. And then when I went back and finally played it later, I was like, I don't know what I was talking about. This game is brilliant. And it has one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time. Of course, David Wise composed both of these. I think this one he co-composed with somebody else, but then that game was all him. I'm not sure if I'm right about that. And so now I want to get better at that, but that game intimidates me. And I have beaten it. I said earlier I can't beat Sonic 2. I have beaten Donkey Kong Country 2. It took like a month, maybe 3 weeks. And I've never beaten 3. That's a game I've had a hard time getting into. It has a very different flavor. And a lot of people feel like it's far superior to 1 and 2, and I don't have, a well-formed opinion because I've only played the first, map and a half. And I do own all 3 of those on original hardware, and when I beat 2, I did do that on the cartridge. Oops, that was a mistake. And some of this is just knowing where everything is. So, you're not going to play through this as fast as I'm doing it right now if it's your first or second time, probably. Unless you just kill at video games. In general, I guess. But even then, these things were all about trial and error. What gave them replay value and gave them, some length, made them take longer, to play so that you didn't finish it in, you know, an hour-long sitting was that there was intended repetition. You had to take your time and really learn where things were and memorize patterns. And that's an aspect of gaming that I prefer over some of what we tend to do now. I mean, there are games like that still, but a lot of them are kind of retro throwback things, where it's kind of more story-driven and more about just getting through the game. So even if it's challenging, it's kind of challenging in a different way. And the ways in which games are repetitious sometimes, I don't care for, where it's more about grinding than the game rewarding you for getting better at it by letting you proceed. I think there's a difference. Oh man, I thought I was going to get hit by that guy. These vultures, always chucking stuff at me. That can be one of the tougher things to nail, is just when to jump. Oh, around those nuts. Thomas Slow, Geeflution Gaming Channel cap. I probably wouldn't do a separate channel for it. I don't think I would ever devote enough time to like regularly get videos out and attempt to carve out a new following for this. And even if I did try that, I don't suspect I would be successful at it. I really kind of prefer to just sprinkle it into what I'm always doing, because, like, you know, the core idea of Geekvolution is just geekdom in general, like lots of different kinds of things, even though we have our focuses, of course. And I know that, I was not playing as Donkey Kong. Maybe I should have been. And you can't switch on the track, by the way. You have to be on solid ground to do that. So like, I'm pressing the button right now. You can't switch it. So I know that I had a period not too long ago where I was trying to streamline and get us to where we were pretty much just superhero and retro, and that lasted about 19 seconds, man. I just realized I don't really want to do that. Like, you know, make that the focus, sure, but I tried to, like, take requests, for instance, and make them just commentaries on superhero and comic book things. And people didn't seem interested in that. I realized I wasn't interested in just doing that. I like being kind of forced to spread my wings a little bit and try new things. And so we're putting out some videos that not a lot of people are watching, but it seems worth it to me for my own education, being ever more well-watched, well-read, well-rounded. But there's also different people that watch us for different things. And so I was hearing from enough people that were like, Cap, I'm not really here for superhero stuff. And I was thinking, like, what the heck else is there? And then I'm like, well, I mean, I guess, you know, we have kind of our Star Trek crowd. We don't do a regular Star Trek show anymore. At least not right now. I'd like to bring Star Trek Club back when I have time. But, you know, that was kind of a niche audience. But then there's people that just, you know, like to hear us talk about movies. And sometimes there's people that, you know, like the comic talk but don't care as much about the superhero movies, and vice versa. Look out for those snakes! Every time I play this game around Freddy, he's always got to make this snake sound every time I jump on one. It's like, psst. That was a close call. Yeah. I usually have some trouble with this level. I'm gonna really hunker down and focus here, because I'm shocked we haven't died yet. I'm also playing with a controller I don't usually care to play with. Just trying to find something that would work well with this emulator, because the controller I usually use I was having troubles with. And I'm playing a lot better with it than I thought I would. I would have had to blame a lot of bad gameplay on the controller, and no one would believe me. They'd be like, that sounds like an excuse, Cab. No, I thought I had him. Man, that sucks. Alright. Here goes everything. Get over this B. Oh. Yes. I've never done that in one life before. That's one of the couple in this map that usually really trips me up. Oh, man. That was honestly kind of exhilarating. Whew. Jared, no matter what you do, I'm sure the core viewers will always be here. It's more about you and your personality rather than the overall content or topic, for me at least. I really appreciate that, and that is a sentiment that I've heard a lot lately, and one that I really have taken to heart, which is why I'll do things like this, even though I know, you know, it's probably not going to pass even 300 or 400 views, but the folks that enjoy it, and it's worth it to me because I wanted to do it anyway. So view count is certainly not everything. Monetizing is certainly not everything. Kind of trying to catch my breath from that last level. I'm so stoked that I did that and got it on camera. See, that's why this is worth it for me. Okay, I got one Kong right now. We're now hitting a stretch of levels where I'm liable to lose some lives and some minutes. But we are at 108? Ah, man. I shouldn't have looked away, but I wanted to see what the timestamp was. 1 hour and 8 minutes so far. Boy, that's cool. But I'm going to have to really hunker down and focus here. Yeah, I went to the left there a minute ago because I couldn't remember which direction the level went. I've got some muscle memory for this level now. It took a while to develop that, and you really need it because there's some bits where stuff just kind of almost unfairly comes off the screen at you. Whoa! Like those fish. These don't even look like especially deadly fish. Like, maybe they're piranhas? I guess the overbite tells you that they're deadly. That deadly overbite. Just the angle those fish swim at makes them one of the tougher things to get by sometimes. I'm not sure where the K is. Oh, you know what? It's probably... Did we get it the first time around, or was that just bananas? I don't even remember. Well, knock on wood, but I still got both Kongs, and I've got my marker barrel. So that's good. Starting to get a little tired here, too. There's going to be an added degree of difficulty if things start getting real fuzzy. But I'm going to do my level best. Just at the end. Not the end, but the end. So there's a little more level left. God, who put these spiky tires everywhere? Like, I wonder if this is all stuff that's just already in the jungle, or if King K. Rool, like, hired Kremlings to put, like, spiky barrels everywhere. The other one, I think, is to the right. Yeah, there we go. I actually thought it was just going to be a hole you could go in, but it's the rest of the level. Oh, no! That's not good. Okay, I will probably get hit again before we get to the end, but I'm going to obviously do my best not to. Man, these piranhas. Whew. It's like, do you want to go all the way to the top, or are you going to get stuck? Yeah, and I don't know if that's randomized every time, like where exactly they swim, or if it's the same every time. Okay, now for Minecart Madness. Usually this takes a couple, 3 lives, but I don't usually die a lot. Knock on wood. Jared, smaller channels are more intimate experiences usually. Bigger channels are mainly just for your own entertainment. Yeah, generally speaking. And, you know, I don't use this as an excuse. I enjoy being a smaller channel. I, in some ways, would welcome getting larger, but I also recognize that it's difficult to stay what you are when you do that, and I don't know how much larger. Like, I think we could probably be at, like, maybe, you know, 100,000 and still sustain what we're doing and what we are, and not have to change and compromise too much. But I don't know. And having done this for 13 years and realizing that I kind of missed my chance, I think, to get to that level. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with where we're sitting, and sometimes we grow a little bit, and sometimes we lose a little bit. It's not the constant, steady growth we had, you know, even a few years ago. But I've talked about this before. If I had, you know, really stuck to my guns on Rewind and not worried about the potential of getting burnt out on that, and kept it weekly or even twice a week, you know, was just real consistent with it. Especially back when I had the couple that went, you know, 100,000 views or better, like Days of Future Past and Winter Soldier. This would have been circa 2016. I probably, especially if I was doing a lot less content and focusing mostly on that kind of stuff, if we were mostly a scripted channel, I probably would have gotten to that 100,000 plays, where YouTube sends you the bronze or the silver placard thing. I don't have one, so I don't even remember what it is, but yeah, like, obviously that'd be a cool feather in my cap, but I don't have a lot of regrets about it. And I know that with as large as my family is now and stuff, there's no way I could have sustained that. Like, I cannot write, you know, even one, or I can't be sure anyway that I can get even like one rewind at the, I don't know, length and to be what I want them to be, you know, even one a month, and get anything else out at all. And I've gotten a lot more comfortable with the off-the-cuff thing. I'm really enjoying that. I'm having a lot of fun experimenting with it, and the audience we have now seems to be, you know, really accepting of that. Okay, I always forget about this. We have one more map after this. I keep thinking this is the last map. And there's, you know, difficult levels there too that will sometimes trip me up, but we'll see what happens. I love Blackout Basement. It's a lot of fun. Because if you know what you're doing, it can just look really impressive to jump in the dark and land on things. This is a fun show game, you know, to show people that are not real familiar with it. I have sometimes at parties just pulled this out, put it on a big screen, and started playing it. And usually you'll have at least a couple people that'll sit down and watch it and be like, this is just fun to watch. I should have led with this game when I got the reputation for being terrible at video games. I say as I'm dropping to my doom. Always like the escalation of difficulty in the game design here, where they go, okay, we're going to give you a rope. It's going to be, you know, sit there next to you so that you know that when it blacks out, you still know where it is. And then the next time you get one, it's moving and you have to time it. Just solid level design. Oh man, I keep missing them. That's crazy. Oof. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I am going to try not to lose it here. Hour 17 now. Yeah, my goal at the moment is to get through this in, you know, collective 2 hours. That's my hope. Oh, man. I'm not going to do it. Making boneheaded mistakes like that, though. All right. I might have to quit talking for a minute. Yeah, there we go. I didn't see where the first one was. These orangutans are the death of me, man. I never saw the end. And then they put that one at the end just to screw with you. Tank Gunner, this game looks pretty tough. Took a long time to get good at it. The bosses are not, though. Which is one of the things I like about this, because I know I'm on an island to myself, but I've never really cared about the hard bosses. Bosses are almost never what I come to games for. Particularly with platformers. So I've always kind of appreciated the simplicity of Donkey Kong's bosses, but they're a little generic. They're a little lame in comparison to the ones in 2, which are fun and, you know, more challenging than this, certainly, but still not crazy, most of them. Jared, I looked at the Capital Slog video in the most viewed section and saw 1,400 comments. That's crazy. You're probably talking about the one I did years ago on the lawsuit with Axanar. I know that video got a lot of views, which is kind of unfortunate because I assume I was just one of the only people talking about that. Okay, I'm gonna have to really focus on this one because this tends to be one of the levels that I'll just make careless mistakes on. I was just gonna say real quick, it's kind of unfortunate that that video got as many views as it did and introduced us to a lot of people or a lot of viewers, because, man, I was off my game that day. Like, people complained real hard in the comments about just all the ums, and yeah, it was one of those videos. I don't know if it's possible to even get that fuel can, or if they just put it there out of your reach so that you'd get confused for a second. What am I supposed to do? A lot of Donkey Kong levels are about these gimmicks that never come back again. And most of the time they're really well designed, where it's crazy that they made them for one level where you could easily bring it back and do more fun things with it. The second minecart level feels like an afterthought, where it's like, oh, you know what, people are actually probably gonna really dig this. I guess we should do another one. And that one's interesting. I meant to mention this earlier because the rules are even different than in the first one. Because the first minecart level, you jump with your minecart, and in the second one, you jump out of your minecart. Oh! Don't screw up, don't screw up! Wish I hadn't lost that Kong. Hopefully I'll be right here. Nah. Man. I gotta play half that level again. Hayden, we think Jason's TikTok got banned because of his age. He was a year too young to be on there, and I didn't realize it. I think he claimed he was older than he was when he got on TikTok. And I asked him about it when he got banned, and he said he didn't even remember doing that. Which I believe him. I don't think he's lying to me about it, but it didn't even occur to me that it had that age limitation, that it was 13, like YouTube is. But, like, that makes sense because of the whole COPPA thing. That seems to be like a, you know, maybe by law thing, I'm not sure. And I just always think of TikTok as a thing that, like, mostly kids are doing. Like, it didn't even occur to me to ask him about that. I felt really stupid when that happened, and I felt bad for him, certainly. But he's really taken it in stride. He was, of course, devastated when it happened. And I thought maybe he would get discouraged enough that he would want to quit making video game secrets, but he hasn't. Oh, I guess I could have written that to the end and got the G, but I don't think I got the rest of the letters. No, I can't believe I did that. As soon as I jumped up to that platform, I knew that was going to happen. God. And then everybody's like, seriously? We got to watch him play this level again? Hopefully last time, guys. We're losing some time here. And then the most difficult thing is not just getting burnt out on the repetition of playing the same level over and over again. So you'll start to make careless mistakes because you're just so done with it. Like there, it's really easy to accidentally push that tire off. Yeah. Didn't lose a Kong that time. So that's good. Now we got a little insurance. The double B's there, kind of tough to jump over, particularly with Donkey Kong. When I had only Donkey Kong a minute ago, I was like, man, I really wish I was riding with Diddy right now because I don't know if I can make this jump. And then I did, which is weird because I had bigger issues, like this part right here. I couldn't get through that with Diddy. And even there, when I lost Donkey Kong, I still got farther than I did with Diddy. Okay, now just don't be an idiot, Cap. This time I'm going to take my time. I don't care if I'm going for speed. Whew, okay. Got through it. There we go. Hayden, I remember the comments on TikTok were not nice. Yeah, there were a lot of really mean-spirited comments there. And again, Jason took it in stride. I felt kind of weird about some of that. I don't want to say I'm relieved that that happened, but there's a part of me that wasn't super comfortable with all the attention Jason was getting there, or like some of the kind of attention he was getting. In some ways, it's maybe sort of a blessing in disguise, but I mean, I'm not glad it happened for him, or it happened to him, because he was developing more of a following than I thought he would get there. I mean, obviously, for his regular videos. And, his Video Game Secrets started getting several hundred views and several of them over 1,000. And he started doing, my numbers are better. And the comments on those were real positive. And it looked like he was maybe going to develop, a community of the kinds of people that he was... Why am I not getting my marker there? The kinds of people he was after in the first place. Which is people that were really interested in video game history and retro gaming. In particular. I actually didn't mean to go in there. I might get hit on purpose here so that we can move forward. I've been watching... I mentioned this earlier, but I didn't tell you who it was. I've been watching a channel lately called Geek Critique, who does a lot of stuff on retro gaming. And really well-produced video essays kind of about his own personal experiences with video games from this period and just after, mostly. He is a big Sonic guy. He's a big Donkey Kong guy. And one of the things he said about this game is too many cavern levels, and I absolutely agree with that. He counted 10, like cave and cavern, and I need to get that Kong. Okay, that didn't actually kill me though, because that was technically a bonus stage. Okay, which like I should have known, but for a second I was unsure. The music didn't change, so it threw me off. For a second I thought it was in like Mario World or something. Where you'll get secret areas like that, but you can still die. Okay, can I get over that? Hot dog, I can. And that's the exit. Crazy. I didn't remember that that's how that level ended. But anyway, like mine levels and caves and caverns. But I guess part of the reason there's so many is just because that's the theme of this whole last area. Never cared for this level just because I never liked all the barrels that put out a bunch of enemies, and so I guess it's kind of a cute gimmick to finally make a whole level out of this. But it's a little tedious to me. It's weird that when that happens, the TNT barrel doesn't explode. I keep waiting for the boom, and I'm not getting any boom. Boom does not go the dynamite. You guys are making me want to video game stream more often again. Really, really enjoyed this. I can't remember if you jump on enough in a row, if you get an extra life like you do in Mario. You don't have the escalating scale of sound effects that you do there. But yeah, you notice that? Like, the barrel doesn't explode, which I thought it did, because you lose it, and then it would hit the ground. I wonder if that's just like a weird glitch this ROM has? Or if I'm just remembering that wrong. It's crazy. See, this is a place where it's much easier to have Donkey Kong. Because you can jump off the... Oh, I had to say that. Because you can jump off the roly-polies while they're spinning. And if you're Diddy Kong, they throw you back. I always expect another, like, mean thing right at the end there to kill you. Jared, I'm not getting any boom, Cat 2022. Yeah, I need the boom. Hayden Spring, I just don't understand the mentality of bullying a child online. Well, I don't either. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but no consequences. So now we have a follow-up to the on and off level from earlier, from Stop and Go Station. And now it's Stop and Go with bounciness. So once again, you gotta move like they do. And I don't like this one as much. Probably just because I don't know it as well, so I can't blow through it the way I do that one. And there's more things that kind of force you to slow down. I don't know why I bothered doing that. I didn't even get the K, apparently. Okay. I was like, is that a ledge? Or is that a cliff? Is that a drop off? I don't even know. And like, yeah, I could have gotten that tire on that thing and gotten the bananas up there, but I'm trying to go as fast as I can, so it did not seem necessary. And I have a lot of lives right now, so bananas are not in short supply. Or lives are not in short supply, so I don't need the bananas so bad. I bob my head up and down a lot when I play Donkey Kong Country. Light's gonna go off on me here. I have no comment, folks. None. So I'll look at comments again after I finish this level, guys. So I really want to focus on this. I guess I'll hit it one more time. I'm starting to think differently about the Switch Pro controller I'm using right now, because I usually hate this controller, but it's been serving me well this evening. It's kind of just a necessity. I'm not playing on Switch. I'm just playing on an emulator on my PC, but I'm using a wired Switch controller. Dang it. There we go. Okay, no harm done. No harm, no foul. So far. And I got both Kongs right now, so... Insurance is good. Yeah, hard to get there without getting hit. And they were mean there. Okay! Made it. Okay. So, if this is the one I think it is, yeah. This is the one that gives me a lot of grief usually. What are we at? Hour 35. If I can get through this and I'm not expecting to, if I can get through this in a couple of lives, I might beat my personal time record. Because I don't know if I've ever completed this game in less than 2 hours. Which, again, is not, like, earth-shattering if you're a Donkey Kong Country person, but it's exciting for me. That's not a good start. Is there another water level? I can't remember. I always think of this as, like, the last level in the game before you get to the boss, but it's not. It's just the last one that drives me insane. So, yeah, I'm going to really focus on this. Somebody asked me about Strange New Worlds. I did a whole video on the pilot for that. And as I mentioned earlier when somebody asked about it, I saw the 3rd episode and liked it quite a bit. I died in the same place. I can't even believe that. Alright. I'm not even at the hard part yet. This is weird too, because I don't remember ever dying at this place. I don't know why that's messing me up. Maybe it's because I'm stuck with Diddy Kong there. I think I'm going to keep Diddy Kong right now and not flip. I'm jumping under instead of over, and it's a dumb move. And I don't know why I'm doing that, but it's almost like a muscle memory thing where I just can't help myself. I don't usually do that. Yeah, see? Like, no problem that time. Oh, I threw it the wrong way. He's chasing me. That was weird. So barrels become really important here, because we're going to start running into enemies toward the end of this level that we can't jump on. So you got to be really careful about where you throw them. And now I'm like, do I want to flip to Donkey Kong? Because he gets more useful here. Because you do get some enemies that only he can jump on and not enough space to roll. So here we go. These are the guys. Okay, I'm going to take the risk and stick with Diddy for now, so that when I inevitably lose him, I have the Kong that can jump on those things. Does it go to the left? I think it goes to the left. Yep. Again, you just got to memorize this part. As I said, it was inevitable. You got to know that he's there. Throw at that one. Jump up, go to the left, go to the right, throw that. I guess I didn't need it. That's good. Yes! Okay, that usually takes me like 10 to 20 minutes. Oh, maybe that is the last level before you get... It is. Okay. that shoots off to the left, and I was like, am I imagining this? Or there... Okay, we have enough lives. I don't think I need to go back or anything. Let me see what people are saying. Hayden Spring, I'm excited for Kenobi. I feel like I shouldn't be, but I also am weirdly kind of jazzed about seeing that show. I don't know what it's going to be like. It might be awful. I shouldn't get my hopes up or anything. And I mean, I'm not expecting that show to be brilliant, but it kind of looks like fun to me. Okay, gotta really concentrate here. This is the closest thing to a difficult boss we're gonna have before we get to K. Rool. Who is legitimately kind of tough if you haven't played him before. And sometimes I have off days with him where he'll take me several tries, and sometimes I get him in the first shot, so we'll see what happens. I'm very inconsistent. There we go. Oof. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. I knew that double one was coming, and I didn't have a prayer. Well, hopefully we don't get stuck here for too long. That was dumb. I'm getting a little careless here. I hate this boss. Like, I don't even want to do this. Well, the good news is, if I get stupid and I lose too many lives here, I can go to Funky and just go back to the first map and pick up some lives. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully I can just get him right here or in the next one. Where we at? Now we're 40? No! Dumbness! Okay. Yeah. That was the wrong move. Maybe what I should do is just jump to the left and stay there. I've always been able to kind of jump around them. I don't know what's going on with me today. Now, I guess the trajectory of it does change depending on where you're at. Oh, come on, really? Ugh. This sucks. No! I couldn't get to the beak. Yeah. I knew I was gonna get hit there. Oh! Yes! There we go. Okay. Now I feel better. Okay, I've got like 17 minutes to beat K. Rool. To say that I beat this in under 2 hours. And sometimes I can do this in 1 or 2, so... This is my favorite music in video games. Gangplank Galleon, I love it. And I love the way it's utilized again into as-level music. It's just wonderful. As you can see, I've spent some time on this guy. So yeah, we are at the end, guys. This is the final boss, if you've never seen this game before. Oh, crap. King K. Rool is maybe my favorite boss in old-school video games, in platformers. And I was really stoked when they made him a playable character in Smash. I'm not a big Smash guy, but it was a trip to get to play as him. And I like his moveset a lot. He's really fun. If I played Smash regularly, he would probably be the guy I would main as. Or the guy I would main. Before that, it was... And when I do go back to Smash, that's the guy I tend to play as. But, yeah, before that was Pac-Man. And so now you're going to have a fake out. Nobody get excited. We still got to finish this boss fight. But this was a really fun fake out. Back in the day. You're like, oh, wow, I won. And you go, wait a minute. These credits are very silly. This can't be the end. Unknown passenger, I'm not a Zelda guy. This has never been my kind of gameplay, and I'm not good at puzzle solving. And then he's gonna go, He's gonna jump, and he's gonna throw his crown, and then he's gonna jump again, and you gotta get under him, and then he's gonna throw his crown. I'm doing this with one Kong right now. He's gonna jump some more. And he's gonna throw his crown. Oh wait, no, you gotta get under him again. And he's gonna throw his crown and did it in one. 1 hour and 46 minutes, including stopping and chatting with you guys. So I think conservatively we can probably... Can I say conservatively? Conservatively, we can probably knock like 10 minutes off in total and say that I did it in an hour and 35. Is that fair? Is that an hour and 35 minute playthrough of Donkey Kong Country? Plushy DX says main Kirby. I haven't played with Kirby a ton in Smash. Cranky Kong says if he'd been playing, he would have gotten everything, even though he makes fun of the game and says it's terrible and that nobody should be playing it. That's not self-congratulation. I'm clapping because Donkey Kong is clapping. If anything, it was self-congratulation on his part. Everybody, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you had fun if you stuck around. And you guys were great for spending a little bit of time with me tonight. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of relax and play some Donkey Kong Country. And I'm really stoked that I have a playthrough on the channel now. Getting through this as quickly as I did. Like I said, I've done this once, I think, playing through the entire game. But it took a lot longer and I made more mistakes. So, yeah, I feel like I'm getting better and better at the pseudo speed run. This was not really a speed run, but hour 35, basically. I feel really good about that. Guys, I'm going to be back, if all goes according to plan, tomorrow night. I'll let you know if anything changes, but I'm planning to do a superhero rewind on Batman vs. Two-Face, the second and last Adam West 60s Batman animated movie. And I'm starting to get tired and delirious, so I'm going to get going. But thanks a lot for watching, and wow, it's like 1:30 in the morning. Alright, I'm going to get going. Later, everybody. Bye, folks.